Welcome to another Cisco Security How-To Guide on Threat Hunting. My name is Jonathan Stevenson and I'm a Technical Marketing Engineer in Cisco's Security Business Group. What do you think of when you hear the term threat hunting? If we look at Cisco Stealthwatch, it provides all kinds of baselining and anomaly detection built in, but in many cases you may need to define some known bad conditions. Now, that could be certain hosts trying to connect to protected resources or monitoring time of day access. Whatever the condition, being able to define your own policy-based detection is an important part of threat hunting. Cyber attackers are increasingly using encryption to hide their activities, but nearly a quarter of security professionals admit they are blind to this threat. Well, surely not every piece of encrypted traffic is hiding a malicious payload. No, it's not. But there are other risks involved when encryption is concerned. Remember Heartbleed? The threat from encryption is not just from hidden malicious payloads. The protocol itself can be the attack, or simply not be providing enough protection and rendering the encryption less effective. Wouldn't it be great to get an alert when potentially unsafe levels of encryption are being used on your network? In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a custom security event in Stealthwatch. Here we see the Stealthwatch version 7 web interface. How do we create a new custom security event? We go to Configure and we go to Policy Management. Within the Policy Management interface, we can see many custom security events that have already been configured. Some are enabled, some aren't. We want to create a new one. So let's go to Create New Policy and Custom Security Event. Now we can configure the parameters specific to our event. Let's give this event a name. Let's call it TLS 1.0. Let's give it a description as well. Trigger upon TLS 1.0 traffic. Now we need to tell Stealthwatch the parameters which to see on the network and then create this alarm. So we're going to add a rule. We're going to say subject host groups. This is the source of the traffic. We're now going to select the inside hosts host group. Basically, this is everything on the inside of our network. And we're going to click apply. So we've defined the IP range that is specific to this alert. Now we want to say what kind of traffic. So we're going to add a new rule. This time, we're going to go all the way down to the bottom and we're going to select the encryption type. And we're going to simply type TLS 1.0 and hit return. It's as simple as that. We now have a custom security event which we can enable and we can save the config. Now we have our newly created custom security event. Let's go back and take a look around the network security dashboard. All alerts that are related to custom security events will appear in the Stealthwatch Management Console user interface in the policy violation category. So we can see we have a number of security alerts currently being displayed, and we have policy violations. We also have the top alarming hosts widget. This gives us information on the alarms that are either the most severe type or the most frequently occurring. We can see the host at the top is 10.201.3.51. So let's click on the policy violation icon to get another level of detail. Now we can see in the alarms pane, we can see the first active date and time. We can see the source host group. Now remember when we created the custom security event, we specified a parameter that said the source of this traffic must be on the inside of our network. The IP address must reside within the inside host host group. We can see that the inside hosts policy is what is being applied here. So let's get another level of detail by clicking on the details link. Now in the security events pane, we can see information regarding the alarm. We can see the alarm name that we created, TLS 1.0 alarm. We can see that this alarm has occurred 7 times. We don't have a concern index. That's because this is based on a custom security event. So as soon as Stealthwatch sees traffic that matches the security event, the alarm is raised. We don't need a baseline. We can see this host group again. We can now see a target host, and we can see that the target host group is in the DMZ service. So I want to go and get another level of detail, so I'm going to click on the actions and associated flows. Stealthwatch will now create a flow search in the background and then populate the results. We can see that we can also edit the search criteria should we wish. We now have all of the flows that are related to this custom security event. We can see a lot of information like the duration of the traffic, the subject IP address, the subject host, the subject bytes, and even the application. We can also expand any of these to get another level of detail, such as packets, such as packet rates, etc., and byte rate. Now in this case, what I want to do is investigate the IP address to see what's going on. So we click on the IP address. Stealthwatch then takes us to a host report. This host report gives us a lot of information, everything from the host name of the workstation. We also get information on the traffic by peer host group. Now, this one little widget in Stealthwatch gives us a huge amount of information because this tells us if this IP address were to become compromised. This is the potential risk in the business because these are all of the host groups on the inside of our network that this IP address communicates with. These are all of the destination IP addresses or the destination countries that IP address has been talking to. And the thickness of the band between the host IP address and the destination indicates the amount of traffic that's being sent. Now, if we decide that this IP address poses a risk to the network, and we were prior to version 7 of Stealthwatch, we would have simply had a quarantine button here. That quarantine would have gone off and talked to Identity Services Engine, and we would have simply blocked the IP address. Now, within Stealthwatch 7, we have a much more granular policy to apply between Cisco Identity Services Engine and Stealthwatch. We can apply policies that may say shut down. We may apply a policy that just says suspicious. We may treat this traffic slightly differently and throttle it for a while. We may just block the web access, or we may actually decide to quarantine. Whichever one we decide to do, we have much more granular access rather than just quarantine. Thank you for watching.